Roger, everyone wants to know, how's your health?
Better, yeah. Thank you. Cough's gone, the cold's 90% gone, so I'm happy the last couple of days I've been able to practice normally, and yeah, no, I'm relieved that since Thursday now I'm better.
Roger, Leighton says that you are his greatest rival over his career. Obviously, early in your career, was that the biggest rivalry that you had?
Yeah, him and Roddick, you know, it was different with Leighton had to turn around the series because he got the better of me many times in the beginning, whereas with Andy I started on the better side and kept that up throughout. But now I really enjoyed playing them. Also Ferrero and Safin, I thought, but Leighton was something special, you know, no doubt about it, same as Roddick. But you know, Leighton made me figure out my game and made me definitely a better player as well, and I enjoyed the battles with him. I wish him well here.
Were you always friends, or did that develop over time?
No, we were always, I mean, I played him the first time when we were maybe 15 in Zurich at the World Youth Cup, and we were supposed to play the juniors here, the doubles together in '98. I went on to win Traralgon, he won Adelaide, that was the difference, and then he got a wild card in singles, doubles and mixed here in the pros. I played the juniors and lost in the semis in the singles and the doubles, so we were supposed to play here in the juniors, but you know, he dumped me. It was a big shot after winning Adelaide. No, but of course I understood, and then we actually played some doubles in Wimbledon as well, which was good fun, and so we always got along well. It was at times sometimes feisty on the court, you know, but always respectful. I always admired his work ethic, his own court, you know, fighting spirit, even though it annoyed me sometimes because in the beginning it was more crazy than now, and until I found myself as well on the court. It took me a while, but it was more because of me, not because of him, I'd say.
Roger, you speak so fluently in English as you have for years, but I'm wondering, early in your career, was there ever a time you felt like it was a job or something that really was challenging for you in the early parts of your career?
Well, school was tough. School in general was rough. I don't know, I thought I had to work very hard to get decent grades. Home, I felt like I was working harder, you know, away from school, trying to keep up decent grades than others. Yeah, I don't know if it was my mind was so much at tennis, and I had a harder time getting really excited about certain what do you call it, themes, you know, in school. Yeah, so I guess yeah, so school was tough for me, but still I enjoyed it. I loved my friends at school, and I was actually kind of enjoyed going back there, but also couldn't wait for the bell to ring, you know, so to go out again.
Roger, I know this is something that we talk about more in the media than I'm sure you do as players, but do you think the whole idea of the Big Four is still relevant now, given Novak's domination in recent times, or do you think, you know, what you did last year, for example, your window of him shows that those top guys, you're still very much part of a group?
Well, it completely depends what you're looking at. You know, if you're looking at his season, obviously he was the most dominant player by far last year. But then if you look at just who won the slams and the Masters 1000s, doesn't hold true, you know, because Stan won the French. Nobody else won a slam other than him and Novak, so it completely depends on how you look at it. But who's had the most success is the top 5 guys, really, with Stan, you know, and Murray, myself, and Novak, and Rafa. So now the rankings are back to more normal again after Rafa's worked his way back up. I don't think Rafa and myself, we personally look at the rankings very much and check it out all the time and care too much, to be quite honest, after being world #1. I understand that some other people do. It's helpful in the seedings at times, but for us to lose maybe quarters, semis or finals, it doesn't matter. It's still a loss because we're looking at higher goals, I would think, Rafa and myself. Same with Novak, and yeah, I still think the same guys are playing very well, but of course Novak deserves like a little star next to his name right now because he's been doing extremely well, and same for Stan, really. It has been said, he's won slams the last couple of seasons, and he's going into maybe a third season where he's going to win a slam.
Roger, what's your thoughts on your first round match?
Yeah, I don't know my opponent very well. I almost played him at Wimbledon, I remember. So we'll see how that goes. More focused on my own game right now. My health is good now, so that's crucial, especially now that I play on Monday. Yeah, so I'll get some feedback from Ivan and Severin, see what they can find out about him. But then I think the important is going to be how I'm going to play.
Is this the Grand Slam where you tend to experiment a little bit more, or try out a few different changes to your game?
Maybe. I mean, you would think so, at least, because you're coming from the off season, you've had a tournament to play. In the off season, it's usually where you work on your game. So going into Wimbledon, there's only so much you can do. Having had the French Open just before, plus you've had a surface change and so forth. So I would think that Australian Open is the one where players come in maybe most inspired. It's also been my most consistent slam maybe until last year. I always played very well here. I don't know if it's the conditions or the court speed, or it's a good place for me to start the year. So we'll see how it goes, But off season went well for me. Had no setbacks, which was crucial, and I was able to work very hard, which is nice.
Roger, do you expect anything different from Ivan than you got from Stefan?
Yeah, of course. I mean, they're completely different people, So of course they're going to say things at different times and in a different way. It's always like that, regardless of who you're going to have in your coaching team.
Can you tell us about the background behind that change of coach?
What do you want to know?
How it came to a name of Stefan, and how you decided on your replacement?
Well, I think I remember Stefan telling me maybe here last year that this is going to be his last year. Then I checked in with him again if that's really the case, and maybe, I don't know, through Wimbledon maybe at some point. And with Ivan, it was really at the end of the year, because I have a great team around me. And yeah, that's when Ivan told me that with Milos it's not going to continue. That's when I said, okay, so you would be available. I'm checking other options too, but are you interested at all? And he said, yeah, I would love to do it. So let me know. And I went through the process, and at the end I called Ivan up and asked him then. And he was very excited. So that was the process, more or less.
And had you been quite chummy with him when you were on the tour together? Had you been quite good friends?
Yeah, we always got along well, even though he's the only guy to beat me in Basel Engstad, He likes to play in Switzerland, apparently. But yeah, we got along well. He used to be on the council as well, so we had some talks there. And I think that was an important phase, because I really I needed to trust Ivan there on the entire board change we were going through. It was quite tricky and not a comfortable thing to do, but I had to work very closely with him there. And there's a lot of moments where I had to see Ivan's reaction and how he was handling it, and it was a really good process. At the end, we worked very well together. And then when towards the end of the career, when he had family, I had family, we also spend more time together, and towards the back end of your career, you're always a little bit more relaxed, also off court, and we always stayed in touch, and I was happy for him when he did as well as he did with Milos as a coach.
Have you had to change any elements of your game specifically for Novak?
Not really. That was more something that went into the press, but I'm always on the lookout for how to play certain players or certain tournaments, or about my own game. So Novak might be a small piece of the puzzle, but it wasn't the piece, because I'm more focused about my own game than any other player. And last year I did quite well against Novak, but of course I got to keep it up, and I always believe there's new things you can learn, but there's also a way of staying motivated, staying hungry, and someone like Ivan can also help you that. But I can do a lot by myself, but I need my support team, to push me the last 1%, 5%, 10%, whatever that is, because I'm also not in the same mood every single day.
Last question in English, please.
Roger, you called for stricter doping controls in tennis at the end of last year. I'm not sure if you've been aware of a big scandal here in Australia with the Essendon Football Club and their doping. Do you think generally in sport more needs to be done by authorities, or is enough being done?
Well, important is to keep the game clean. You know, I think tennis has a pretty good image, to be quite honest, and I think we should just make sure that that remains the case. So that's why I'm in favour for more. But I know you need a lot of money for that. Go chase down all the guys, you know, all around the world. It's not an easy thing to do. So then you need the Olympic federations and all that. It becomes quite complicated. But I think we're doing well. But there's always more you could do, and I'm sure it's going to be more professional in 20 years' time. In 50 years' time, it's going to be a different story again. Yeah. So I've seen the change in the last 15 years. It was very loose back in the day. Today it's much more tight, which is good to see.
Thank you. Swiss Press, we're a bit for space because we have a back-to-back interview, so we're going to move into the small room to do the Swiss Press. So